What's up, guys? Big Pat Swollerex. Today I'm here to talk about SARMs and what they can do to you. Alright, so I'm going to talk about three of them specifically for now. And before we get started, like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about this video or, about all the other videos. Either way, tell your mama, your daddy, your grandbabies, your great-grandma. Tell your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors, everybody, okay? Anybody who wants to make some gains, let me flex up for you real quick. It's all about the mangles. All right, let's get started. First off, ligandrol. I'm not going to go like too scientific. Lgd4033. Now we're going to talk about a few of these products because, well, we've got a product out, Super Swole Stack. Okay, it's got three different SARMs in it. Lgd4033 at 10 milligrams a day, ostarine at 30 milligrams a day, ibutamoren at 30 milligrams a day. But it's also got milk thistle at 200 milligrams a day, black pepper extract, 10 milligrams a day, 5 milligrams per capsule, 60 capsules. It's a month's supply. Currently on sale for $120, swole-rx.com. All right. So first, Lgd4033. My experience with it, for one, it is a very strong SARM in the sense of like the amount of muscle that you can grow. And I've gotten the same feedback from other people. So a lot of people have actually compared it to stronger anabolics, but it's not anabolics. They work differently. Essentially, what they do, the ligandrol and the ostarine bind to certain androgen receptors. That's why it's called a SARM. So selective androgen receptor modulator. So it binds to these receptors and then creates, an action. So essentially, now I think one of the main differences between the ligandrol and like the ostarine, what I've noticed between me and other people was that I believe from my personal experience that it binds to the same androgen receptors as some of your DHT naturally would. The androgenic, like the more androgenic stuff. So like your body has testosterone. Some of it converts into estrogen, some of it converts into DHT. DHT is like, it's one of your masculine hormones. It's essentially will make you grow facial hair. It'll make your delts kind of pop. We're mostly predominant androgen receptors in men, shoulders, delts, throughout the face. If you notice, like, your jaw, just like when women run anabolics, they get the big masculine jaws. They have androgen receptors, in different parts of their body, all over the body. Ligaments, tendons, bones, muscle. Even organs, prostate, okay? So, ligandrol, though, from what I've noticed, seems like it binds to the same receptors that give you that aggressive kind of mindset. I say this because almost everybody that's ever gave me feedback on it has reported that. Essentially, they get like an urge to do more. So, yeah. It's like you get an aggressive mentality. So obviously it's binding to the same receptors that give you somewhat of aggressive mentality. Your masculine receptors versus like the ostarine's not quite as much. I've tested them both personally. Ostarine, that one. Well, first let's just finish up with Lgd. Most people that take it, depending on your body weight, your training, in your diet. 5 pounds a month, solid muscle. That's pretty common. Some people, if you're bigger frame like me right now, I'm 6'1", at 265. I could put on 10 pounds of muscle in a month from something like Lgd. If you're smaller framed, 5 pounds. Depends on how hard you work, really, and if you're working full body. But one of the most predominant things that you notice on Lgd is joints and everything seeming to just function better, because it's like they bind to the ligaments and tendons as well as the skeletal muscle. You have androgen receptors all over, and I've personally seen it. Like, my body would recover faster. So faster recovery. At the same time, it seems like it increases like cartilage growth potentially, or at least fluid around the cartilage, because a lot of the back pain, knee pains, all the little aches and pains would just go away, and it allow you to lift even more. So for me, Lgd is kind of like a super compound, especially if you're cutting. I feel like you wouldn't really lose any muscle mass while cutting, and I've done this before. I went through hard cuts while on Lgd. Didn't lose any muscle mass that I could tell. The strength stayed mostly there. You're going to lose some strength, but then if you have like a large refeed, you could gain most of that strength right back very quickly, especially if you hydrate properly. Something like electroswole, water, lots of carbs. Reload, and your body would recover really fast. All right. Because that's most of the Lgd. Well, I guess I can talk about some of the strength gains. Me personally, put on last year I'd say about 15 pounds solid muscle. So some of the gains actually, they halt, I'd say after a month, maybe 2 months. 1 month you make your biggest leap in gains, and then from there you just kind of maintain. And there's nothing wrong with that. For me, it was, it put me above and beyond where I was. It took me over 500 on my bench and had me back to squatting really heavy, repping with 500 plus pounds. Other people, now one thing with that one is also potentially suppressive. I say potentially, I'd say it is suppressive of your natural hormones. So if you're a natural athlete, 1 month at a time, and then cycle off. And post-cycle properly. Testoswole is exactly why it was formulated, was to bridge SARM cycles. So, 1 month max if you're a natural athlete. If you're not natural and you're just trying to gain an edge, it's a perfect compound. It's a run. It's not liver toxic. And no aromatization, so your body doesn't turn it into estrogen. All right. Ostarine. mk2866, that one. So for me, I noticed like decent amount of strength gains. I'd say half as much as Lgd. But there's also an advantage to this. Ostarine's known for like bridging cycles for people that run gear. Now this is because you can maintain most of your muscle mass. It's anabolic. I feel like it doesn't hit the same receptors as Lgd, not as strong, but it does specifically target bone, ligament, tendons. So with that, your recovery times will be much higher, your chance of injury are even lower, and you're still able to get stronger. I've had some people report like they're afraid of hormonal suppression. So they tried the Ostarine for a month, seeing a significant increase in strength, especially on squat. 20 rep squat max. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was pretty impressive. It was like a 100-pound increase on their 20 rep max on squat. 100-pound increase in a month. And then when they came off, no post-cycle therapy, nothing. They were able to maintain that. So that tells me there wasn't any hormonal suppression. Now, they didn't get blood work done, so it's hard to say. Even then, blood work's so subjective now anyways. So, you know, a lot of times it's more based on how you feel. Sometimes the blood work's not as accurate as you might think it is. But we like to say it is because it's, you know, that's just trending. So, ostarine, not too suppressive or not suppressive at all in a month time frame. Even still, if you're natural, same thing. 1 month on, take time off. All right. Let's see. We also got mk677 in there. That is ibutamoren. Now this one is gaining a lot of popularity. For one, they're using it now in a lot of, well, you know, you can get it as a prescription. Most of them are pretty expensive, like $250 for a prescription. And, you know, here you can get it for, well, the stack is $120. So you're getting 3 times the amount of products for less than half the price. That's pretty good. One of the most notable things, ibutamoren, is hunger. So it increases hunger because it binds to the ghrelin receptor in your brain, in the pituitary. So hits the ghrelin receptor, and from there, that basically tells your body you're hungry, but at the same time, it secretes growth hormone. Increased HGH levels, increased IGF-1 levels, increased recovery, increased muscle mass. But it's not just that. At the same time, if you increase your IGF-1 levels, you're not only increasing how fast you can recover, but if you're training hard as well, you're going to potentially cause cell proliferation. So it's not just hypertrophy. It's actually, you know, proliferations like the growing of new cells. Because whenever you grow muscle, you know, you're growing a set amount of muscle cells you have. So let's say you got 100 cells in your bicep and you're working those. You're growing your biceps. Well, all you're doing is expanding the size of those 100 cells. And at some point, you hit a genetic limit. Now, what causes these limits? A number of different things. Could be anything. Have you hit your limits? I don't know yet. I don't know at all. I mean, if you got questions, feel free to contact me. Big Pat _Swolescribs. That's my IG. And so, yeah, by increasing the amount of cells you have, imagine you got 100 cells, you're maxed out. Ibutamoren, increase HGH, increase IGF-1, increase the number of cells. IGF-1 is what causes cell proliferation. So, with that, that means imagine instead of 100 cells in your bicep, you grow to 150. Now you're able to max out 150 cells. Now, this is likely why, you know, most bodybuilders are abnormally large. All the HGH, body converts into IGF-1. IGF-1 causes more cells, especially if you're training hard. You time everything out right, your carbs, training, growth hormone, you increase the number of cells you have. Your potential just becomes greater and greater and greater and greater. So over time, you're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger if you keep trying to get bigger. Negatives, the hunger on mk677 is, for me, is a little much. So if I'm cutting, I don't really like it. I could do half the dosage before bed and still get all the benefits of, you know, the growth hormone, just not as much, because they say the mk677 is like a dose dependent. So essentially, the more you take, the higher your growth hormone levels go. And I believe it because I've been taking it now for about a week. And I've noticed fingernails growing, hair growing a lot faster. And it's kind of annoying, actually, when your fingernails grow within the week or less than a week. And same thing with like having to get haircuts every so often. So other than that, the extreme hunger, mk677 is a relatively safe compound. No actual suppression. It works on your body's own natural methods. So it's not like taking exogenous hormones. Instead, you're putting something in your body that binds to the ghrelin receptor. And then from there, your body says, hey, let's produce some HGH. So it works with your body's own natural methods. Other than that, right now, yeah, that's most of what we got. Just want to make a quick video on this. It's going to be a very popular product, and it already is. We got a number of people on it, and you'll likely be seeing this soon in stores all over the place. Get ready, because we coming, baby. We coming! Swole-rx.com. Y'all go check it out. Like this video. Share it. Subscribe. We got more content coming. And if you want to have any other videos, you know, you want me to talk about something, go more into depth, just drop a comment, shoot a DM, let me know what y'all think. Thank y'all for watching.